everybody, it is Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, sellers. Let me know that you can hear me. And actually, let's check in. How is your weather? Ours was very, very hot, but not too bad. Carried the water bottle, did okay. But you guys, let me know that you can hear me so that we can get going. Because an urban myth was posted in one of my Facebook groups, and actually it was posted in my advanced Facebook group, eBay stores, nothing but eBay stores. And this seller was quite adamant about it. And I don't mean to ridicule them at all. I'm really glad so I take that back, is, why was I laughing? Just because sometimes we can be so sure of things and we've never asked another seller, or we've never gone to a source and said, is this true? We've never gone on eBay site. I mean, we just hear something and we think it's true, or a couple people have agreed with us, rather than really check the accuracy, particularly if it's something that really impacts your sales. And this does, which is why I'm streaming on it, and I want to bring it up so that you have the truth about it, because it's actually something I have heard a couple of times, but this surprised me because this one person was quite adamant about it, but it was good because I explained what the situation was and we chatted about it. And I also have an idea of why they believe what they believe, which we will discuss. But let me just check and make sure that everybody's okay. And we will get right to it, because I always talk, when I share things, some things are trends that you'll see on the internet. So I'll say, I saw this in Time Magazine, or I saw this on the Wall Street Journal, I heard this at a conference. Other things are right on eBay's site, and you have to know where to go, because sometimes it can be a little challenging to navigate eBay's site. Sometimes things are a new policy. So you may know something from several years ago and you just don't realize that they've updated it. Sometimes the updates are not in, excuse me, I'm itchy and scratchy. Sometimes the updates are not in the spring seller update or the fall seller update. eBay just rolls it out and they put it on general announcements on the community board. So there are a lot of places to go to get information. And yeah, at times I totally understand it is frustrating, or it can seem time consuming. I'm always here to help you. Feel free on my Facebook page. I love to be selling, to post a question if you've heard conflicting information. And again, if you have an eBay store, jump in my eBay stores group and post in there. If I'm not there, my moderator team is, and they're all experienced sellers. There's a lot of really good experienced sellers in there, so you can get right to it. So let me just check and make sure. Hey, yeah. Okay, let me just dunk the volume up. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Hi, Pam. Good. So we'll just get right going, you guys. So this is what happened. I don't know. Hang on a second. I just knocked something over on the floor. I've been shipping. Yay for lots of sales. Is that, remember the game? We played this when I was a kid. My mom liked to play it a lot. Remember the telephone game? You have a phrase. So the phrase would be, I love eBay. And you would whisper it to somebody, and then they, you go around the circle, and the longer the circle, the more fun it was. So you would take a phrase like, I love eBay selling, or, I love eBay red shirts, something like that. You whisper to the person next to you, and then it'll go all the way around in the circle. So it'd be 10, 12, 15 people would be doing it. And I remember sometimes in school, they would do it, I think, as a listening exercise to do it. But you go around and you know what happens. The phrase, the way it starts, by the time it gets around, it's turned into, red shirts are jelly or something like that. I mean, it's completely different from what you started with. And this is what happens sometimes when people call into customer service, or they might speak at a conference or at a workshop, or just chatting with friends, and they'll hear something, they'll hear something, and they don't ask, where are you getting that information from? And again, they might just say, oh, well, I heard it, or it was in an update last year, but they're not specific. Like, was it the spring seller update? What year? 217, 218? And again, and it's because we're very, very busy. Oftentimes you don't go and check, so I don't go and look at the update from 218 or 217, or I don't go on the eBay community board, or I don't go to the person's blog, or I don't listen to the YouTube that they're referencing. And I just go, oh, okay, that sounds okay. And I go along with it. And it's wrong. It's not correct information. It's something that people are passing. And I would like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I think for most sellers is they're passing it with every good intention. This is happening right now with sales tax, by the way, because I have a very good friend who's a very good CPA. And maybe I will stream with her sometime and let her chat with you. But right now there's a lot of bad information about sales tax going on. And if you want to know what's accurate, I really encourage you to go on the government websites, go on the IRS website, go on your state's website and check. That's what I did. Besides that, I have a very good bookkeeper. But anyway, but this specific thing was something that they had heard. They posted it in eBay stores, and they said, well, the customer service rep said this. And so I said, well, when? And they said, well, it's a couple of years ago. Immediately, my alarms go off. And this is for me, this is for everybody. When somebody tells you something as fact, and you ask them, or you just message them, well, when did you hear this? Or when was this? If it's more than like 6 months old, this is just like social media saying, oh, well, that worked on Facebook for me, 3 years ago. Well, let me tell you, the Facebook algorithms have changed enormously, and they change almost daily. Now, some eBay policies are the same from 2 years ago, but others aren't, and particularly ones on listing. A lot has changed because eBay search has changed dramatically since eBay's been relying much more on structured data. Devin Wennick talked about that at eBay 20, which I think now was like 5 years ago. So when you hear that, when somebody says, well, yeah, I heard it, and it was a couple of years ago, and particularly if it's a customer service thing, that means I'm calling in about an issue on something, and it's something from 2 years ago, there's a good chance that policy is quite different now, or may not have everything that seller is talking about. So this was the urban myth, and this is the thing the seller was very, really, really believed. And so what they posted was, if you have an eBay store, the higher level store you have, the more eBay pushes your items out in search. You might have heard that, so let me know if you've heard that one. So what that would mean was that somebody with a premium store, their items would be prioritized by eBay over somebody with a basic store. And then somebody with an anchor store, which is a higher level, their items would be prioritized over a basic store. And enterprise, which is now the highest level, which a couple of years ago it wouldn't have been because it's a new store level, is the highest, and they would be prioritized over everybody. So let me just check comments. Have you heard that one where a higher level store person, their items are, and I'm not talking promoted listings, eBay's paid search. I'm not talking using any promotional tools. This is just if you list, if you are a higher level store, your items are given more of a push by eBay over somebody with a lower store, or a seller with no store. Hey, okay, we got Lindy, we got Kara. Hi, Kara, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? Good. So nobody's heard that one. So if you have, you're going to post and let me know. They said they heard this from a customer service rep, and that's what flagged it in my mind. I was like, what? Because I've had this conversation with customer service, and I've had it more than once, and I've had it with senior level customer service people that manage very large accounts and work with very large sellers. And they've all adamantly said no. Now, what I think this seller heard, and this is the whole thing about the telephone, and I really like emailing, and I really like the function that we have. If you're a US or a Canadian seller, you're able to go on Facebook, go to eBay for Business, which is eBay's page for sellers, and you are able to message them. So you are writing your message, and you get a written response. I like that a lot because it's in writing, and the customer service rep signs their first name. So I know it's Bradley or Kara or Kathy signing the message, so I know who's giving me the information. Now, what I think happened with this seller is that they misheard. And this is what I'm thinking. And by the way, this is true what I'm going to tell you. So an anchor store has more listings, typically. They might not be using all their listings, but you have more listings than a basic store. Enterprise store, which is this huge store, thousands of listings. They have thousands of listings, and you might only have 50 or 100 or 200, or maybe you have 1,000. When you have more listings, and I'm assuming they're optimized, and I'm assuming it is items that people want. So we're not going to discuss stability or any of that. So we're just going to assume you're selling things that people want. You have a lot of them, thousands, and you might have a seller that's much smaller than you that only has 200. You with the thousands, eBay is not favoring you over the smaller seller. However, you have 2,000 listings or 3,000 listings, and some sellers are like 5 and 10,000. I mean, they're huge. So there are that many more listings that a customer could come in and look at. So they'll come in on the red shirt, and then they look at your lamp, or they look at your blue shirt, or they look at your cups, or they look at your shoes. They come in on the auto part for Buicks, and they also have a Cadillac, so they end up going over to the Cadillac. So because you have so many listings, you are going to help yourself as far as customer traffic, not placement and search, customer traffic, because they're going to come in on the one item and then perhaps go and look at another item. So that absolutely helps you as far as sales results, because you're offering more items. You have more potential customers coming in because there's more potential things for people to look at. The other thing that some of the very large sellers have advantage of, but the medium sellers can do this too, is if you have what's called a multi-quantity listing or a multi-variation listing, so you've got more than one, and I'm going to pick something I've got. So I've got my tape gun. So let's say you have a listing for tape guns, and you've got 100 tape guns, and I only have one tape gun. So as your 100 tape guns sell, every time a tape gun sells, that listing gets a boost in search. You know that, right? Like with a shirt, I've got the red eBay shirt, the blue eBay shirt. It's all in one listing, and I might have different sizes. Every time one sells, even without promoted listings, even without promotions manager, that item is going to get a little boost in search. Why? Because eBay sees that it's interesting, because it's getting sales. eBay wants sales. eBay makes money from sales. So as something sells, if it's multi-quantity, multi-variation, it's going to get a little boost because eBay's going, oh, there's interest in this, as opposed to the one-off, I'm only going to sell it once and it's gone. So I want to blast that urban myth because that's a dangerous one. I just want to show you this too while we're here. So let me just share my screen. Okay. And I'm going to show you, hop over to my website here. Hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com. And if you've got an eBay store, I've got a free tip for you. You want to grab so hover over free tips and then come over to eBay store master tips and grab this. This is over 5 tips. This is complimentary. This is my gift to you. eBay store master tips, and grab this. This is all accurate information. I tell you exactly where I'm getting my information, and grab that and use that for your store. Okay? So that's what I wanted to say is, yes, A bigger store will have the advantage of the fact that it has a lot of listings, and so you can get more potential customers that way. Makes sense. I've got 600 listings up. I'm going to have more potential customers than if I have 50 listings up or 20 listings up. Understandable? Right. But eBay does not favor me just because I have more listings and push them out, or a higher level store and push them out. But there is, just because of the sheer quantity of items. Think about going into a retail store like Macy's, right? I might come in for the blouse, but while I'm there, oh, I'm going to get the perfume and I'm going to get the makeup. The one item can lead me to purchasing the other item, okay? And again, I really encourage you, when you hear information, it may sound really good, is where did you hear that? You know, check the eBay site, check the community boards. You're welcome to come into my group, eBay Stores, and ask. You know, stuff that's very general knowledge as far as rates and store levels, yes, but when you hear something like a higher level store, automatically, without using any kind of promotional tools, any kind of anything, automatically is favored over a smaller seller. You know, your antenna should go out on something like that. And again, the person, they may not know where they get the information. Oh, I just heard it, or I heard it from somebody I really trust and respect. Great. They may not know. Then, you know, jump in a group and just say, you know, I heard this. It's not substantiated in any way. Have you guys heard this? And ask, because you always want to have accurate information, so that you are building your business on things that are going to help you with your listings and help you with your business, right? That's all we want to do. So whether you have a store or you don't have a store, what eBay's looking for is that we optimize our listings with great titles and great pictures and great descriptions. And then there are promotional tools that are available to stores that non-store owners don't have. And you can decide whether having those tools is worth it to you. But just by buying a store, you are not somehow promoting your items, you're not getting a push and search over a non-store. Okay, let me just make sure that's clear for everybody. Good. Yay. Did email. Everybody's doing good. Background off the shelf. Hi, everybody. Good. Jill, you did hear that. Yeah. Good. Yes. So let's all just put a kibosh on that. And again, when I pointed it out to that seller and I said, what I think you heard was, when you have a lot of listings, you're going to get more eyeballs. That makes total sense, right? If I have 600 listings, again, the Macy's thing, Macy's has all of this merchandise. And so different things could bring you into the store. And then when you're there, you're going to be buying the other items, as opposed to a smaller boutique. So let's just keep straight on that. I want to blast that urban myth. It is not true. You do not get, just from having an eBay store, your items are not pushed out over non-store owners, okay? And hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and grab my complimentary eBay store tips for you. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.